I love it when you turn up at an event like this and you see two signs, two placards that the person in the street might not thought were connected. But there are signs up at the back about the workfare programme, and there's one just behind me here saying, "Trump, bugger off." Could there be more clear an example of the disparity between the interests of the 1%? Good grief, Trump must be part of the 0.001% or something. But the interests of those who are doing oh so very well out of the current economic system and those who are being exploited by those who put that system in place. We need to recognise not just what's happening right now to people being exploited, but also the nature of the economic system that's been in place for decades. Through all of my lifetime, all of most of the people in this group's lifetimes, an economic system which has perpetuated inequality, which has seen levels of inequality return to the UK that hadn't been seen since the 1930s. It's no coincidence that in the years, the decades after the 1930s, inequality was gradually reduced. It was reduced deliberately, because economic policies were designed to make that happen. And since the 1970s, the reverse has been true. And all of that progress towards a more equal society has been reversed. And those same economic policies that brought that about are at the heart of environmental destruction. They're at the heart of many of the things that undermine social progress, not just material equality, but the things that create a decent standard of living, a decent chance for a successful culture and a successful society for people in this country. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen ever more conclusive, mounting evidence presented inside the Scottish Parliament about these issues. The STUC came and gave us a presentation on alternatives to economic growth. The Church of Scotland, and the Lord knows I'm not a churchgoer, but the Church of Scotland were here to give us their report on the purposes of economic activity. I recommend having a look at that report. It's on the Church of Scotland's website. And it poses fundamental challenges, not just to how do we have a more successful economy, but what's an economy for? And how does it achieve equality and dignity for all people, as well as protection for the environment that we depend on? Some of them are. And following the presentation of all of that information, what we had was evidence from the Council of Economic Advisors, Alex Salmond's hand-picked economists, some of whom have their personal affairs based in Monaco because they don't choose to pay income tax.
Hey, whoa, shocking.
And the agenda that they're perpetuating is going to reproduce all of the mistakes, all of the errors that we've seen inflicted on us in this society and around the world. So it's essential that we challenge that. This morning, the Minister for Youth Employment came to our committee, the Economy Committee, and refused to condemn the workfare programme. Wow. The Scottish Government have a huge opportunity, not just to be the beacon of progressive values, but to start saying it is not some Trotskyite conspiracy, as the Prime Minister would have it, to say that people who put in a fair day's work should get a fair day's pay. Cameron said that was the agenda of the Trotskyists. Well, there might be a few people in this audience who don't particularly object to that discussion. Who knows? But it should not be a controversial statement from the extreme of politics to say that people ought to be paid when they put in a fair day's work. Week after week, month after month after month. We should have a clear demand on the Scottish Government to put in place a programme that ensures that young people in that situation are given at the very least the minimum wage, and better still a living wage, to ensure that they have dignity when they go to work and when they face their peers. Listen, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for keeping up your campaign, and I want to make sure that you know that there are some people advocating for those issues inside that building, and we want you to continue to be a part of that as well. Thank you very much.